Arihom Bhagavad Gita Moksha Sannyasa Yoga chapter 18 verse 46 continuation. Yesterday we saw the wonderful explanation of Swami Dayananda Saraswati. How a man by performing his duties perfectly he can attain perfection. That itself is archana. That itself is worship. That is worship in fact. Today, the explanation given by Swami Chinmayananda. Verse 46. Yada pravrittir bhutanam yena sarvamidam tatam swakarmana tamabhyarcha siddhim vindadi manavagam. Swami Chinmayananda says the fourfold classification of men, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Sudra, and the duties belonging to each group or each classification were already discussed in detail by Bhagwan Krishna. When a man acts according to his nature, Swabhava, and station in life, Swadharma, his vasanas get exhausted. The exhaustion of vasanas and the consequent sense of joy and relief that can be gained only when one learns to work and achieve in a spirit of total self surrender. If one does his work efficiently, that is important, not a shabby work, not a careless work, efficiently. If one does his work efficiently by constantly remembering the higher, his vasanas get exhausted. The goal is He from whom all beings arise, and by whom all this is pervaded. By my work, I worship Him. That is the goal. That is the aim. Things of this world are made up of matter. That we know. Everything is made up of matter. Matter is inert and insentient. But beings are dynamic and conscious. Where do they get their dynamism and consciousness? This matter, where from it gets this dynamism and consciousness? What is that secret essence from which all living beings are interacting with themselves and the world around them? The secret essence is existence, knowledge, and bliss. Sat Chit Ananda. It is constantly present in everything. By its mere presence, the inert matter becomes magically enlivened to act and to know the things. The three equipments, that is, body, mind, and intellect, they are inert with no consciousness in it. It is only by touch of life the inert matters get enlivened and the activities are carried out. These are all very, very important, minute things which we have to note. The inert matter cannot do anything. If life principle is not there, how can I talk Bhagavad Gita? How can you hear Bhagavad Gita? So the touch of life, by the touch of life, the inert matters get enlivened and the activities are carried out. It is therefore the witness, the soul and life power, in whose presence alone all the activities get animated. The one who recognizes this truth is not bound by action, even in the thick of life's activity, because the actions of such a man are not tainted by arrogant ego. It is not the action, but the attitude behind the action that keeps us in bondage. This is also very, very important. This is very, very important. It is not the action, but the attitude behind the action that keeps us in bondage. So when one works in a field of one's own interest and liking, but in a spirit of dedicated surrender to the higher reality, not only his existing vasanas get exhausted, but also his ego gets weakened. Slowly, you reduce your ego slowly, 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 and then completely it will go off. To remember constantly this consciousness, the Atman, which lends dynamism to the matter equipments, is to stand apart from all agitations in the field of work. Swamiji gives the following examples. Just as a musician is constantly conscious of the background music while singing, accordingly, he will modulate his voice. Just as a dancer effortlessly dances to the rhythm of the drum, she knows the music, then immediately her legs start dancing automatically. A man who constantly remembers the higher reality is never caught on the wrong foot ever in his life. Wonderful. A man who remembers the higher reality in all his work, in whatever field he is working, in whichever field he is interested, he is never caught on the wrong foot ever in his life. A new glow of tranquil peace and dynamic love comes to shine through all his actions, his works, whatever be his work, it radiates the light of divine perfection. Work can thus be changed into worship by attuning our minds to the consciousness of the self. A self dedicated man working in the consciousness of the Supreme pays the greatest homage to the Creator. So, work is worship. Work is worship. This any you take any religion, any country, everybody it applies. Universal law. Do your work properly. Don't do a shabby work and go and sit in the temple for long hours. First, do your work properly. Bhagwan says that will benefit the society. If benefit the society is benefit, society is what? It is not different from Bhagwan. Creation is not different from Creator. Bhagwan says serve the society by doing work properly. Then come to the temple. Nobody says don't go to the temple. Go to the temple, but don't do a shabby work. That is what Bhagwan says. By doing our work properly, the greatest homage to the Creator has been done. This subtle change in attitude transforms the shape of even the most dreary situation, even the dreadfully most unpleasant activity is converted into a sacred chamber of devotion, into a silent hall of prayer, into a quiet seat of meditation. Your own work. A scientist who enters the lab forgets everything and works for the society, not by making nuclear bombs. I don't talk about those scientists, perverted fellows. For the society, suppose somebody finds a medicine, the person who finds the medicine, who found the medicine for COVID, the immense satisfaction no one can get. That itself is worship. By thus setting the mind and intellect equipment constantly in the consciousness of the self, one can attain through the performance of one's own duties the highest perfection. Work results in self fulfillment apart from earning legitimate fruits. I already said this. Money is only incidental. If you are a real doctor, real lawyer, real judge, real is important, real Brahmana, money is incidental. It will automatically come. Whatever you do, money will come. But the satisfaction in that work, unless you do it properly, you will never get. You can never be happy. The inner personality gets integrated, and such an integrated person grows in meditation and evolves quickly. Swami Chinmayananda says, to act by impulses of the mind may be the destiny of an ape, APE, monkey, the, uh, the big one. So Swamiji says, to act by the impulses of the mind It may be the destiny of an ape. It certainly does not fit the dignity of men. Bestowed with faculty of intellect, Bhagavan urges man to take control of his actions so that every action serves as a brilliant means to scale higher climbs of spiritual evolution through steady inner purification. Even Swami Dayananda Saraswati said already. First, it will Antakarana Suddhi. Later on, you will get the knowledge. That is how you get the Siddhi. Here also Bhagavan says, Swamiji says, by doing a brilliant work, you can scale higher climbs of spiritual evolution through steady inner purification. Slowly, 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 you purify your heart. Do your work properly. That itself is worship. Don't neglect your work. First, do your work properly. That is what Bhagavan says. Who will get benefited? Will Bhagavan Krishna will get benefited? No. It is all for the society. The human beings, the entire beings will get benefited if everybody does his work properly. That is what I understand. Verse 46. Yada pravrittir bhutanam yena sarvamitam tatam swakarmana tamabhyascha siddhim vindadi manavagam. Next verse we'll see tomorrow. Harihom sarvam krishnarpanamastu. Narayana 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 Narayana